Alright, I had put this away. This is part of my bucksaw deal, and there's my jig stuff over there in the corners. I hang everything, just drill a hole through it and hang it all together on a cable tie. And then hang it on a hook over there in the corner to get that stuff. And then when I use it, I just cut the cable tie off of it and go to that. So let me go ahead and just cut this off there. If you're smart, you'll just cut this off right here behind the head. And that way you can reuse the cable tie again and back behind the head and just pull this out of there and then refeed it through so you can reuse the table. So, okay, these are the jigs that I've got, and I've got a video on how I use most of them. But I'm going back to this one here. Yesterday, or the last deal during the election, I came up with this jig, and this is basically designed to pick up and drill these pieces. And first thing I do is I put a little storage on this bit because it's a oh, I don't know what you call the thing. It's a pointed bit, and it has a special end on the end of it, which cuts really nice, neat holes. And I've showed that in one of the other videos. But anyway, spur bit, and you do it like that. So then I came up with this little guy right here, and this little guy right here, and it's just a rack that the boards fit in. So let me grab the other couple pieces of wood. Alright, I found my boards, and look there, voila! Added on this little guy right here. And what this is a cam action to support that guy right there. And so it's locked into place there. It's up against the blade, the depth gauge. By the way, this is all set up so that the sawdust doesn't pile up. Every bit of this is set up where the sawdust won't pile up and make a mess when you're drilling it. Anyway, so there's my long piece. It's held in with a cam, and I'm going to pull it out for right now. And you'll notice when I'm pulling this apart that these got dowels in the end of it, and they fit right exactly in there where them two sleeves are. Now, I went down to the hardware, and I explained it already in the video, but I went down there and bought them quarter inch sleeves. They're just a spacer deal. They're a chrome, and I talked a little bit, but they work out real good, and they'll keep my drill bit when it's going in and out, cutting all these holes from wearing out. So anyway, then this one here has these cams here, and what that does is it allows this to come out of there and drill that. So you're sitting there going, okay, well, so what do you do about drilling this? Okay, drilling this one right here, what do you do with that case? Okay, well, you put this in there. Of course, I put the plywood spacer in there so they would line up and be parallel. And then this guy right here is pushing all this up there, and it's keeping it against the fence. And then this part is a transformer, and it pops up off of these two dowels and transform off of that. And then you can take your drill and drill it in here, because I have this right in there for that. So what I would do is I would drill all one side and then come back and drill the other side, so I don't have to change the setup around too much. But anyway, that gives me the exact drill points for this, and gives me the position where it goes. It holds the board down, and all I do is just come up in here and clamp this thing about right up in here. Take your drill and run it down in there, and you got room for your trigger and everything to drill a half-inch hole in there, and it'll drill it just as slick, and they all line up, and they're equal in the hole dimensions of where the holes are. Right here and here, nice and clean. And then on your side holes, they're also nice and clean. So let's see if I haven't drilled either one of them. I haven't drilled one of them. Let me go ahead and just drill that real quick. Okay, I just drilled them with a bit, and there the piece is. Of course, this has got some debris on it, but it's self-cleaning, and you don't have to worry about it. It's got that little bit over there. The cams, I always make the cams a little bit so that if the piece has got a little wonky, or it's a little bit longer in some aspect, that I can go within a 1/4 inch, which most of the time is pretty straight on. But anyway, so there's your pieces, and then they'll fit right on here. And depending on the thickness of your wood, if you've milled it all 3/4, then it'll all be pretty well straight. But the dowels go on lickety split, and they come out, just about perfect. And one face is going to be up, and the other face is going to be down, depending on the thickness. Because this is basically two different thicknesses. This one right here is just a hair thinner than the other side. But it's pretty cool. That way I don't have to mark anything. I don't have to gauge anything. It's just a matter of putting the boards in there and and drilling it. And so this would be set up for this side here, of course that's just a piece of junk wood there. But again, to put this on top of that, you just set it over top of the dowels, give it a push, and it's locked in. And then your dowels are in there. And of course, I have my hole in here for that. But your other piece, of course, it's not going to have dowels in it. But this thing here fits right in there. I mean, it'll just slip in there just as slick as a button. So, slip right in there, and they fit. And then, of course, your cams go down here and hold this into place in that respect. So, neat, nice jig. No measuring, no gauging. It's already built into it. The faces are set up to where they fit. All your materials the same thickness, so everything will be perfectly right at 3/4. If you mill it perfectly, it'll all be perfectly straight. And then the cams they put in there, and then that. Now I just need to put the date on there and hang this thing back up. But that's the deal on that. And you're saying, well, what do you need a jig for? Well, I just made 20 of those, and I work in a church scouting group, and I give out prizes. So each one of these bags have one of these. They're made out of oak, and it's a bow saw. And so this one's made out of walnut, and these two are the prototypes. The newest ones are a little bit longer. They cover the total blade, and then they're in a canvas bag. So there's 18 of them there, and they'll be as prizes for our frontiersman group. And there's my original jig. I'm going to keep that just in case I want to do some lasering or something fancy on one of them. This will hold it in place, and I can just mount that in the CNC and put it together. So let me go ahead and put them back together and hang them up in my jig corner.